Hello, everybody. I am Developer Relations Engineer David Jones-Gilardi, and in this era of vibe coding, I think good coding practices are more important than ever. I have found in a lot of the apps that I've been building, I've got some hard lessons learned, some things I kind of wish I knew as I started my journey. So with that, here are my top 10 vibe coding tips. Number one, commit frequently. Commit your changes early and often. While this still holds true for traditional coding practices, it is even more important today in the era of vibe coding with agents. I cannot tell you how many times an agent has, say, gone off the rails. I've tried to back it out for it to only go off the rails again and found that I needed to go back to my last commit state. If I had the last 2 days of changes in a single commit, I'm going to lose a lot of work. So this one not only helps track your work and break it down a little bit, but it also helps out in case something goes wrong. Number two, modular code. You want to break down large scripts, large files into smaller chunks. Not only does this help us humans better understand what's going on in that code, it also helps the agents. It uses less tokens and it will process faster. Matter of fact, just had a case recently where I had a particular file that was like 1,000 lines long. It was getting a little long in the tooth, and you could tell, right? The agent was really chunking on it, sometimes making some very obvious mistakes and everything. So by refactoring it and breaking it down to smaller chunks, pretty much solve that particular issue. Number three, use a to-do list. So I instruct my agents to create a to-do.md, a to-do markdown file, and to track all of my various to-dos. Now, what's super cool about this is if I'm in the middle of working on one feature, and maybe I have an idea or there's something I need to follow up on, I can just very quickly say, hey, go put this in my to-do list. And not only will it track it there and store it, but then later on, if I've, say, completed a feature and I ask it to check in with our to-dos, then it will usually mark those checked off for me so I can, kind of see the status and the progress of things. It also then maintains this very nice list of all the things that I've done in my app. Number four, regular code audits. Oh my God, this one is so important, more than ever, right? To go back and double check and do code audits, have good tests in place, things like that. Because sometimes the agents can make destructive changes. So you might be changing something over here, and unbeknownst to you, if you're not being careful, it changes something over here that you already had set in stone and you thought was good, right? And then next thing you know, all of a sudden you have a bug or something along the line. So regular code audits are very important. So this ties into number five, pre-commit testing. This one is, again, extremely important. Create unit tests, integration tests to try to track and be able to flag potential destructive changes that you may have missed while you were vibe coding with your agent. There's a lot moving very fast when you're flowing in a vibe coding session. You might just miss something. So having a very comprehensive unit test and integration test suite is super key to being successful. So number six, create rules for your agent. So this one really encapsulates everything we just talked about, right? So whatever vibe coding tool you're using, take all those things, put them in your rules. Hopefully it allows you to do this, most do. And that way the agent will try to adhere to those rules. One of the things that I put in mind that has been very successful for me in coding is to explicitly tell it that when I'm building new features, new code, doing large tasks, to break it down into phases and milestones. This one's awesome. Not only does it help me understand everything that it's planning to do, but then it also helps it understand that. And then that ties into the to-do list so we can keep track of it there as well. So number seven, create scripts for automation. Agents are really quite good at creating one-off scripts, especially based off of your own code base. So if there are things that you find that you're doing repeatedly, it might be a good time to go ahead and create a script yourself or have an agent create a script to repeat that task for you. Number eight, agent interaction. Make sure you're interacting and vibing with your agent. Just don't blindly accept the changes that it is offering. It can be really alluring sometimes as you're like moving super fast, to just go with it and say, yes, 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 make the change, make the change. But I can't tell you how many times I've actually noticed a mistake or something that would have been hugely breaking, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you're interacting with your agent. It's a coding companion, not your coding overlord. So make sure that you're engaging conversation with your agent and looking through every single thing that it is doing. Number nine, continuous learning. Learn new things while you code. Vibe coding offers up a real opportunity to learn new skills and new knowledge as you're going through your vibe coding experience. Always ask your agent why. Have it explain chunks of code or, the business logic behind something so you can kind of slow down and learn a bit and grok what is being presented to you before you hit that apply button. And number 10, get a second opinion. There are many times where, depending on the particular agentic model that you're using to vibe code with, it may not always have a great answer. Some of them are really quite good at certain tasks, but maybe not so good at other tasks. I usually have a couple going at any given time. If there is maybe a particular path that I'm taking with one agent and it maybe starts going in circles, or we're just not getting where I want to, I will go over to another agent with a different model and apply the same problem and get a different approach. And sometimes I'll even ask it that very thing to say, hey, I want a different approach to this. I've found that can sometimes get out of the circling the drain episodes if they do occur. So again, always get a second opinion. And with that, those are my top 10 vibe coding tips. I hope that was useful for you. Go create something awesome. Everyone, take care. Happy coding.